Awesome, awesome. That was a powerful and beautiful song break, even as we continue to meditate upon the word of the day today, just being reminded that the blood continues to speak better things for us than the blood of Abel. So at this point, it's time for us to have a look at the newspapers. And I think, Gigi,
yes,
you were here all along.
I have been here.
Wow.
You think ati nilikuwa tu nimecheza tu chini?
Bana.
Nah. I'm here. I've been here.
You've been here.
Yes, just cheering you on.
Yes.
Go sister, go sister. Preach it. You know, I'm like, preach it.
Preach it.
Yeah.
Preach it, mama.
Preach it, mama. It's good to be here.
Welcome.
A beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful new month. And we're exalting the King of Kings because of his goodness and also his faithfulness.
Amen.
Yes, let's do this. It's the newspaper review. And we can start off with the Daily Nation this morning. Grand cover-up is what they go with as their headline. And the state terror, latest incident adds to over 20 unresolved cases. They are saying that it's of sort of impunity. A week after the violent attack on former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua at a church in Othaya, there are still no arrests, and the government has signaled it has no intention of going after the planners of the violence. Now, by shifting the investigation from the DCI to IPOA, officials have narrowed the organized crime to a police misconduct probe, which means the politicians and the goons blamed for the chaos have been left off the hook. It's a story that is covered on pages 4, 5, and 6 inside the Daily Nation. And there is a photo there of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua addressing a rally that was attended by some of the United Opposition counterparts yesterday. This was in Gitugi Market in Murang'a County. You can read that story extensively covered on pages 4, 5, and 6. And so they say grand cover-up, even as President warns against politics in church. President William Ruto breaks his silence on violence during church services, warning politicians against retrogressive politics and chaos in places of worship. That is covered on page 7 inside the Nation newspaper. Still on the front page, how Ruto used Uhuru script on KU land saga. Professor Paul Wainaina has survived long enough to usher in the new administration of President William Ruto that promptly reinstated him. But as he soon discovered, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Pages 2 and 3, you can read that story. And then there is a scandal here. Deals, trips, and girls. Kenyan link to new Jeffrey Epstein files. In August of 2019, a man died in an American prison, but this was not any man. It was Jeffrey Edward Epstein, a financier who made a name and a fortune from managing the wealth of various rich individuals. That story, interesting. It's covered on page 12 inside the Daily Nation. And then education, decline of public schools puts future of learners at stake. Over the last 3 decades, there has been a significant shift from public to private schools as more parents lose confidence in the state-run institutions. It's on page 10, and I remember we were having this conversation yesterday with my family. And we were saying when, I remember my youngest sister, our youngest sister, when the new, when Kibaki came and introduced free primary education. And I remember she was shifted from private and now she went to public. And I remember my sister was telling my mom, mama alisikia tu ni free primary. Kaambia msichana wewe enda. You see? And so it's quite unfortunate that we had droves of pupils moving from private to public, but now we are having the vice versa.
Wow.
And of course, it's because of the confusion that we are witnessing in the public institutions, the lack of investments in the public institutions in terms of infrastructure, in terms of teachers even, materials and all. But now the question begs, what happens? Because I remember I was saying there are those who will afford to take their children to private schools. But what will happen to those who are still in the public institutions and they cannot afford to take their children to the private institutions.
Exactly.
So what does that mean? Because it has been said, and we continue to say, the biggest equalizer is education.
It's education.
And so if you're having some students who are having quote unquote advantage over others because their parents can afford, what happens to the vast majority who cannot afford private institutions? And it's a sad affair. And yeah, we can only hope that it will be better.
Yes.
And so that's a story that is covered on page 10 inside the Daily Nation. And then two rival fans, one team inside fight for the soul of Gor Mahia. That is on the sports pages inside the Daily Nation. And the Football Kenya Federation Leagues and Competition Committee's ruling that the abandoned Premier League match between Nairobi United and table leaders Gor Mahia stands as a completed fixture has elicited strong reactions within the Kenyan football fraternity. And so you can read that. And yesterday, some matches were played also in the EPL. And Manchester City taking on Tottenham. It ended in a 2-2 draw. Aston Villa lost 1-0 to Brentford. And the biggest was Man United taking on Fulham. An exciting encounter, a 5-goal thriller. And United edged it again in the 94th minute. So kidogo ni kama tutashinda ligi. Kidogo tu hata tusemi tutashinda. Huenda tukashinda. Huenda.
Peradventure.
Yeah, yes, huenda. But in case huende tushinde.
Yeah.
Hopa Dawn will be a sports show for 2 hours.
Jameni. My producer.
So
save me.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni kusema mimi nitakuwa tu nasema wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, that is what happened yesterday and what is being reported in the dailies. You have enough time now to start
catching up.
Catching up. Especially on Man United sana wachana na wengine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But unajua nilisikia Arsenal wako na timu ya maombi. Nilisikia. Ati wako na ka Bible study. Sasa mimi I don't know about the Red Devils.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Atupatie gazeti zingine. Unaanza kupotea. Unapotea.
Hivyo ndio mnajiita. Ama hiyo.
Tukwa tuende hapo.
We are not to go there. It was not supposed to be that loud.
We flip the script.
Well, so quickly. No sooner that.
I didn't see it coming.
Let me pause it there.
Yeah.
To be continued. TBC. Anyway, let's go to the Standard newspaper this morning, going with the headline, The Grand Cover-Up. It goes ahead to tell us police bosses are playing PR games, refusing to name officers caught on CCTV and hiding behind unnamed administrators as brutality keeps repeating. From Nandi Hills pool hall beatings to church raids, the pattern is very much familiar. Now, Senator Samson Cherargei accuses the Inspector General Douglas Kanja of police shielding rogue officers and dismisses disciplinary moves as a stunt. So Kevin Maseri's killing in Kitengela drives the point home. He was shot outside a pub. He died as his friend fights for his life. With IPOA probing and promises piling up, Kenyans are left asking who will finally be held to account. A story that has been covered extensively, very unfortunate, on page 4. And I see here the Kenya National, Society here Center is adding here that a case of indiscriminate shooting are so common, meaning police brutality will continue until someone is held to account, serving as a deterrent to police missteps. Quite unfortunate. And of course, that is the story being covered. That's a quote from Suba Churchill. And that is from the Kenya National Civil Society Center, the executive director. And I think it's a very sad thing because over time, this has been happening. I mean, people are exhausted, really.
Yeah.
We keep saying we are looking for the one who is to be held accountable, and it's not something like rocket science.
No.
Ni kitu ya kawaida.
Yeah.
So we don't need to be
Quite
beating around the
yeah.
bush when lives are being lost every single day.
And we don't arrest the situation early enough.
Oh.
It will spiral out of control and into something that maybe even the government will not be able to contain. So we may be thinking that, yes, it's favoring us as a government, it's favoring us as those aligned to the government, but it may spiral out of control. And so
true.
may justice be our shield and defender,
Amen.
Regardless of who it is touching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very much important. And looking at the Health and Science pullout today, I'm seeing a 25-year pain of stolen joy of parenthood. It says, for decades, Pamela Atieno endured childlessness, stigma, and suffering. Unaware a 5-kilo tumor was destroying her fertility until life-saving surgery finally revealed the devastating truth. This is a story that has been covered on page 4 to 5 of the Health and Science pullout. And I also see another story covering warning, poor sleep and type 2 diabetes raises death risk. It's interesting. Poor sleep and type 2 diabetes have been put in the same category. Literally. Poor sleep.
Poor sleep.
Yeah?
People need to
sleep.
To sleep. I was about to say that people, they need to sleep.
They need to rest.
Yeah. Because it gives you rest.
Yeah.
And you're refreshed.
That's true. It works wonders for your body.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes unaona ni usingizi tu. But really,
there's something.
There's something.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
I think even if you realize at night you are not able to sleep those good 8 hours.
Yeah.
Mchana tafuta kamwanya. Jiekele.
HR
Just rest. Oh, okay.
Business daily.
Mchana ukifunga kazi, I should specify.
or your lunch break.
Or your lunch break.
Yeah, so you eat
not at work.
Not at work.
No. Don't come for me and say Watare told us.
Watare told us.
Yeah, and you know she's born again.
Yeah.
So whatever she says goes.
Exactly.
Why?
Business Daily, taxpayers face 23 billion shillings bill over Coco Network's death. Clean cooking startup has filed for administration. Kenya to pay compensation under World Bank Pact. You can read that story, front page and page 2. Inside the Business Daily, NSE investors gain 138 billion shillings in January on blue chips rally. All right, that's also on page 1 and page 2 inside the Business Daily. And Kenyan Eurobonds rally on Moody's rating upgrade. Now, a higher rating by Moody's has helped extend the rally in Kenyan Eurobonds as investors acknowledge lower country credit default risks. And the UK has, for the first time in 3 years, overtaken Saudi Arabia as the second largest source of diaspora remittances to Kenya, reclaiming a position it had lost to the Middle East country. That is also inside the Business Daily. And an article by Karo Musioka on page 9, becoming a chair means chewing your lower lip and sitting on hands in silence as others air their views. Page 9, and you can read that and what it entails.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that brings us to the end of our newspaper review segment. It's time for us to now have a look at the video of the day.